Countless times over people shout in frustration when watching a young slasher film and the young heroes make a foolish mistake and are killed. Well, now it's time to see if those same people can make the smart decisions where it counts. Hello, this is Project Core, a 2D point-and-click adventure where the player controls 6 different kids as they solve puzzles to escape a large mansion. Unfortunately, a mass killer seeks to cut their lives short. The theme is similar to an 80s slasher horror film. The player has one goal, to get the children out alive. And while the goal seems simple, it's locked behind various puzzles and traps the killer has set up. The player has to be careful, for one wrong move can end a life. If any of the 6 kids run into the killer, their life is cut short. If all 6 kids die, then that'll be a game over. If even one kid makes it out of the house, the player wins. The point-and-click aspect will offer various options in regards to what specific item the player is focused on. All characters are able to use, talk, pick up, use item on, push, pull, hide, and run. Each character also has a stamina meter that will decrease when they run. Similar to Day of the Tentacle in regards to how they handle the mechanic, a radial menu will appear when a player clicks on an object, and text will pop up when an item is dragged onto the scene. The player will also need to utilize the 6 teenagers who the player controls simultaneously. Switching perspective between all the kids can be done with a press of a button. Players will be able to switch whenever and be able to track the other character's view with a small mini camera to the bottom right, detailing what's happening to the other characters. Clicking on the camera will switch the character's perspective so players have a view of the characters at all times. If the killer locks onto a character the player isn't controlling, a warning will appear and alert the player that the character is in danger. The teenagers that the player can switch control of each have a unique skill to them that will help them escape. These strengths and weaknesses are based on classic horror cliches. For a small example, the virgin girl can survive one encounter with the killer, but if she's caught again, she'll die. Also, she is stunned at the sight of blood. Or the jock, who is the stronger of the team, so he has more stamina and can move heavier objects, but lacks intelligence to use a lot of things in a level. The pretty girl, who is slimmer and can hide in more areas, and uses her makeup kit on specific items to allow for more options, but is a pretty girl and attracts the killer more often. The stoner, who is the tallest and reaches various items with ease, but has terrible lungs, meaning less stamina. The smart girl, who can use a lot of technical items in a level, but runs the slowest of everyone. And the horror geek. When he hides, he's less prone to getting caught, but is more prone to stop and spout a bunch of horror movie cliches at random. The main point of designing will be having each character feel useful. This will be reflected in the puzzles where each character can solve them alone, or with switching characters. There's a small issue of balancing in making sure each character feels not only useful, but also features an appropriate setback that won't infuriate the player. A subset of this issue would be the amount of characters. 6 may be too much in the end. This may be cut to 4 or less if things are not looking well by month 2. This is a risk that player feedback could fix, which can be tested as soon as possible, with a deadline being month 3 of development. Additionally, the puzzle amount could be an issue. The current goal is 10 to 12 meaningful puzzles. If by the 4th month they are done, some will be implemented slowly. The killer is the Anti-Force, an unbeatable foe that stalks the halls to kill the kids. The killers are randomized events, spawning wherever and whenever. Upon seeing the kids, the killer will chase them down until they can land a final blow. The killers are random on who it goes after, but if the player focuses on one kid more than the other, the killer will see that kid as a threat and attack the character more often. This is in itself a risk, as this AI system may prove to be too complex. If behavior trees don't work by month 3, then we resort to a state-based AI. There are 2 ways to evade the killer: running and hiding. If the player hides, the killer will check hiding spots on a timer until they eventually get impatient and leave. If the player's spot is found, then they will be killed. This is so the player experiences the fear and thrill of a horror movie. The kids can also attempt to run, but the player has to watch their stamina, because if they run out, they'll be slowed until they regen. Each decision features a pro and a con. Hiding takes more time but is safer and creates a more suspenseful experience. Running is a faster and has a higher risk. It also creates a more thrilling experience for the player. Evading the kill is up to the player, and each option provides a different kind of user experience. Project Core is similar to Clock Tower and Day of the Tentacle in their point-and-click puzzle adventure aspects. Day of the Tentacle even having the character switching mechanic. Both games reflect a 2D view and vision for the game, while Until Dawn reflects the horror theme and the goal of keeping everyone alive. Even Friday the 13th has a dynamic between killer and the children. The main difference is in these games, where the events with the Anti-Force are either absent or scripted, Project Core's events are random. Project Core hopes to induce the player with the same fear yet enjoyment one would get from watching a slasher film, by guiding those very same slasher kids out of a terrifying situation they've witnessed time and time again. Thanks for watching.